All right, all right. Hey, it's 5:05 here on the East Coast of the United States of America. Glad to be here and be able to come to you this evening. Hey, it's getting to the end of the day for some folks. And so sometimes we think about the end of the day, I think about end of deals and closing deals. So I wanted to come to you and give you a little bit about a little bit of information about how to close down a deal and to I'm going to give you two ways that you can identify if price is the issue or if the product is the issue. So we're going to talk about, are we in the if we're in the write up phase, we're sitting there writing up the deal. Maybe you're a realtor, right? And you got to write up a contract, an offer, and send it over. Maybe you're a car salesperson and you got to write up the deal. Take it to the sales manager, that sort of thing. Maybe you're selling clothes, and you've got to go and put it in the register and all that sort of thing. Maybe you're not writing it on a piece of paper, but maybe you got to enter it in the system. Either way, at some point in a deal, you've got to write it up. You have to be able to put it into a system or record it somehow so that you guys can come to an agreement on the figures and, trade money for a service or product. So if you're in the negotiation or you're in the write-up or the negotiations, and in the negotiations, I mean that you've done the write-up and they're sitting there saying, hey, price is too high. And they're starting to like, oh, I want a discount and that sort of thing, right? Hey, great. So we can use what's called an inventory close. Inventory close. And what we're going to do with the inventory close is we're going to try to move them down a model if they are objecting to the price. If they're saying the price is too high, oh, I don't know, they want a discount, whatever the case is, we can move them down a model. And I got this book here from Grant Cardone. It's a great book. It's the Closer Survival Guide. And, you can get it electronic, but I highly recommend having it in your hand. It's great to be able to grab this and just pick any of the closes that are in here and learn them and study them. Additionally, it's got some spots here where you can fill out and customize these for your situation. And you can identify the objection. Right here it says, identify the objection you're going to get to this close and identify how you're going to handle that objection. Okay. So this close, it's the inventory close called move down a model. And verbatim in the book, this is what it says. Would you consider the product right under this? It would save you $500, $1,000, $1,500 and reduce payments by $12 to $30 per month. Or would you rather get exactly what you want and pay a little bit more? So what Grant's doing right there, if it's during the write-up, he is testing the commitment. So we're about to write this up. We're about to put it all in the system. We're about to get the figures. We don't know the numbers yet, right? So we can't even really get into any back and forth. As we're doing that, we can say, hey, just real quick, would you consider a model just below this? It could save you this much money. It change your payments by about this much, or would you rather pay a little bit more, a few bucks more each month and get what you really want? That's going to tell you if they're committed to the deal or not. Now, if it's in negotiation, we already have the numbers. They're looking at it and they're like, all they really need to do is put, lean on the pin and sign and the deal's done. But they're like, maybe you rung it up on the register and it's all there and all they got to do is give you the credit card and they're like, man, that's more than I was expecting, right? So it's kind of entering into like a negotiations. So they're objecting to the cost. They see that sticker shock, they call it, I guess you could say. We can still use this same close where we say, okay, great. Yeah, absolutely. Always agree with them, right? Agree. Absolutely. Totally get it. Would you consider moving down a model? Would you consider instead of getting that jacket, would you consider getting this one? Instead of those boots, would you consider getting this one? It's going to save you some money. It'll knock a couple dollars off your credit card payment. It'll knock a couple dollars off the total bill, like $20 off the bill. Would you consider that? Or would you rather, you spend extra $20 to get what you really want? And that's going to let you know right then and there, they're going to have to make a decision. Man, is this worth $20? Is this worth a couple bucks? All right. That's going to help them justify that decision. All right. So we're using the inventory. We're not using price. We're not going to give them the same product or service that they're wanting, right? You're not going to give them the same vehicle that they're wanting, the same house that they're wanting, the same pair of boots that they're wanting for a discounted price. what we're offering them is they're saying, hey, that price is a little too high. Okay, great. This is what we do have. Would you like to do that? It's going to change your payments or your price by this. It's probably going to be that much, right? If you think about it, most objects, most things that you're buying, services you're buying, they're like, okay, look, the premium package is this, the next level down is this, next level is this, and it's usually not too big of a jump from one level to the next. All right. I would say there's probably a few things that are a big jump, but not most. It's not like you're going from the premium package down to the very minimum. Like that's not where we're comparing. We're going one level down, right? All right. So let's talk about if they're good with the price. They're like, oh yeah. No, let's go ahead and do it. Okay, great. As you're going to have them sign it or ring it up, or you're about to, do whatever you're going to do there. Hey, just real quick, I want to ask you, would you consider moving a model up? Now, the reason for asking them to move a model up is not to change their mind about price or to get a, bigger deal. We can talk about that later. That's called the second sell, right? The purpose for asking, hey, would you consider moving a model up, is to make sure one last time that this is the right product. This is the part where you as a salesperson are making sure you're giving them great service. You want to make sure they're on the right product, because what you don't want to happen is to get a chargeback where they come and they return it and you thought you had that deal locked down, and guess what? Ain't happening. All right. They're on the wrong product. So if you're going to be, so you want to make sure, hey, first, if they give you price objections, would you go a model down? And then just to be sure, as you're going to finish the deal, just make sure, would you consider moving a model up? I mean, you can do this early in the deal, right? It doesn't have to be right when you're sealing the deal. If it's a done deal and you know it, you're on the right product, don't rehash it. Don't go back. But I'm saying if you haven't, or you're remembering, or if they just gave you the price objection and you use the model down, immediately go into, yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you, would you consider a model up? Okay. Let me go to the book, because I'm a huge fan of having things black and white, having it, this is verbatim, like what we say, what we do. Grant Cardone's book, The Closer Survival Guide, is amazing. It's awesome. If you don't have this, I strongly encourage you to get a book by Grant Cardone that's called The Rebuttal Manual. If you know a Grant Cardone licensee, you reach out to them. They can give you coaching on the rebuttal manual, how to handle objections and how to close a deal verbatim. Okay. And they'll tailor it to your situation. So in this, it says inventory close, move up a model. Verbatim, here's what it says. Before I write this up, I want to share with you that if we move up from the 4 gig to the 8 gig, it would only be an added cost of X, whatever it is. And with the payment programs, it would only change your payments a little. Would you consider that? So you're just asking them if they would consider, and here he's talking about a 4 gig to 8 gig. Who knows what the product is, right? Maybe I wouldn't even say it's a cell phone anymore. Now they have like 512 gigabytes and stuff, right? So maybe, hey, would you consider moving from a 256 gigabyte to the 512 before we put this $2,000 order in, or whatever it is, right? Just making sure that they're not still in their mind thinking, man, I don't know if this is the right product, because you don't want them to return it. You don't want them to go home and just be like, man, that was a horrible experience. This isn't what I want. And now they're going to come and bring it back. You really want to take care of your customer. You really want to service them. So if they're giving you a price objection in the write-up or negotiations, move down a model and make it about money and price. Hey, it's this much less. It's going to be this much different on your payments. Or would you like to pay just a little bit more and get what you really want? They answer you, and you go through. They say, okay. They might say, no, actually, I want to look at that lower model. Let's talk about that a second. Okay, great. They want the lower price. We need to go back because we missed something, right? Why is that? Did the product that we were on not give them the benefits they were looking for? Why is it that they would consider the lesser product? All right, so we can get back into that. That's a different conversation. But if they say, yeah, let's go ahead and roll with the one we have here. Okay, great. Hey, before I do this, let me ask you, would you consider a model up? It's going to give you this benefit, right? You're going to talk about the benefit. It'll give you this, or it'll give you, and here it says 4 gig to 8 gig, right? That's a feature. But the benefit would be you'd be able to store more pictures on your phone, more video, right? Would you consider that? No, no, I'm good. I'm good with the 4 gig. I'm good with this. Okay, great. Awesome. Now we know that's the right product. We know we've done our job as a salesperson. If they are saying, oh, you know what, I would consider that. Again, we've missed something. So we need to go back and find out why they would consider it. Okay. What did we miss? Is their consideration just a reactionary response? Like, oh yeah, I would think about that. Or is it something that's been on their mind that they're not sure that this is the right product? That's what we got to determine and figure out. Okay. All right. So just wanted to jump on here for a few minutes and talk about the inventory close from the Closer Survival Guide by Grant Cardone. Amazing close. You can use it in a couple different ways, and it will help you service your customers better. All right, y'all. Have a great night.